fucking took 200 milligrams of Anadrol in the morning right before I went. So I went there, and the second he started making noise, I was just getting so mad. I'm like squeezing the machine, like getting ready to like yell, and I'm like, I got 15 minutes left. I can't do this. And I screamed, "Can you shut the fuck up?" And everyone in the
Oh my
all the like
God.
the moms and like the we're good. So, welcome everybody to the first, I guess, actual podcast that I'm doing. And this doesn't really have a name yet. Maybe we'll come up with a name. But right now, it's me and Jake. Jake, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, my name is Jake. As you know, Jake Squilla to be exact. If you want to find me on social media, pancakes underscore N underscore PRs. Best way to put it is I am an NPC bodybuilder as well. And Spencer and I are both prepping for the same show.
Yes. And we're what? It's like 7 weeks out, just under, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
it's week 6 days.
yeah. So how's prep going for you? Tell us what's your weight, how's prep going, and mentality, everything.
Well, today, I know we both had for the first time in like a while, maybe for me, probably like 4 or 5 weeks now. I had my first weight drop, which felt good to see because I do need to get a little bit lighter to make sure I can make my classic weight cap. But honestly, prep, it's been pretty good. I mean, everybody complains, it's like when I feel like shit, I feel like shit. I'm on day 6 right now of no carbs, fats are low. So yeah, you could say I'm suffering because I definitely feel like lethargic and things like that. But I don't know, something about this one's more enjoyable than the last one.
So
Maybe,
I keep meaning to ask you, when you say no carbs, you're eating literally no carbs, right? It's not like you're
yeah, the
not
only
eating, like you're only having like carbs, and like some meals you have no carbs, right?
no carbs. The only thing I do is I have a fiber shake on meal 3 or no, meal 2 and at the end of the day.
Okay, because I've not done any no carb days yet. I do low carb, so I'll have like
Yeah.
carbs in meal one. The meal one never changes, and then post workout shake has maltodextrin. But besides that, I still have carbs in my diet. And today,
Okay.
actually, I actually am on a moderate day, so I have carbs in my 4 meals, so I have one more meal of carbs left.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, we've been doing no carbs on like throwing one or two in here and there, but this is the first time we're really pushing it hard. Um, Kind of, I don't know. They used to suck, but I guess I'm so used to it now that we're doing it for so long, and it feels like my body finally just gave in and it's like, all right, we're gonna let the fat come off, and a wall just broke a few days
It's
ago.
funny because we really did have the same thing happen. So I think I started my prep at 209. I think it was 209 exact, and I was about that was 16 weeks out, and then I was 209, went up to 215, went up down to 213, then stayed at 210 for a while, and I was 210 to 209 for the longest time. I got to like mid 208s a couple times, never below 208. And then I woke up today, I was 205.4, which I was like, what the hell, looking at the scale. I'm like, I've never been this low all prep. So I'm like, shit, something's working.
Yeah, something just gave way. I
Yeah.
didn't necessarily hold weight the entire prep. I dropped all of my weight in the first about 3.5 weeks and then just held for the rest of it.
hmm
So similar, but I did have to drop some weight because I was a little chubby going into prep.
I mean, I was not too chubby. Because I did a cut right before my second off season. Like I did a cut in the middle of my off season, I guess, and I got
Yeah,
down to 200 pounds exact, and then I went up from 200 to 209 by the end of that, and that was like 8 weeks. So from in 8 weeks, I went up about 9 pounds, and then after that, my whole body just changed all through prep. Just I don't know if it's. I think it has to be the way I was eating because I went from eating about 4 to 5 meals a day, maybe five with a like a macros kind of shake from Axe and Sledge, and one of my meals wasn't really a meal. It was like pre-workout meal, which was like Rice Krispies and stuff. So it was really only like
yeah.
four full meals and then like a shake and stuff. And now I do 6 full meals and a post-workout shake on top of that. And then I have like a fiber shake I added for myself and stuff like that. So I really think that the diet is what changed a lot, which is why this whole Greg Doucette thing pisses me off because
Yeah, it pisses me off too because when I started with, I was doing the same exact thing for most of my off season until I started with my current coach,
mhm.
who got me on 5 meals at first, and then we added in a sixth, and kind of like started pushing more food. And we got up to a point where I was holding weight and just looking better and better and harder and just fuller, and everything was just improving drastically. And we were just throwing food at me. I mean, I was doing 8 Rice Krispies pre-workout.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I did. Was it the mini ones, right? Not the home style big ones.
No, the home style big ones, I would do 2 of those.
Yeah, though. Yeah, that's about the same. Yeah, those home style ones are dangerous, but they just don't have enough. They only have two flavors. But yeah, I did about the same. That
They
box
are.
has like I think 16 in them in the mini ones, and I'd have like
Yeah,
half a box every workout.
exactly. It was just like, oh, that was great. I miss
Yep.
it.
Yeah, but
There are not a lot of times where I miss carbs, but like just thinking about the little things, like some carbs pre-workout, not only do they taste good, but I miss the pump. Like that's one thing is I get good pumps now, especially I'm leaner, so I get really vascular, but I don't get like those skin ripping pumps.
so
At least not since the first time I took Winstrol.
I have to yeah, yeah. I have to say it really depends on getting a good pre-workout or pump product or something because my last prep I did like fasting a lot because I had to make the weight so quickly and I did the Hostile Bloodshot and this is why one of the main reasons I realized Hostile was a great company. I was like 3 days fasted, no food in me, just water, and I had an insane pump, like vascularity down my arms. I was full, and I'm like, all I had was this fucking pump product. So I'm like, this thing is
Yeah.
like this. That's how you can tell if a product is good. So yeah, it really does just depends on that. But yeah, the carbs I really don't miss it. Maybe it's because I'm not like you. I don't have zero carbs, but it's even like when people have pizza and stuff like that in front of me. I'm like,
Oh no, I don't miss that crap.
yeah, it's like that kind of stuff I don't really miss. Like I still follow all these like cookie pages and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be nice to eat after the show, but I'm not screwing
Oh yeah.
myself up. Yeah,
I'm not saying I don't like I'm not saying I don't ever crave those things in the sense that I'm definitely gonna have some crap after the show.
yeah.
But what I crave throughout the day is just like whenever I want carbs, which realistically is not as often as I expected it to be, but
Mhm.
whenever I do want the carbs, I'm like, I want oats with protein powder in it. There's something about protein oats with just some nut butter that is just my favorite meal.
That
I can
was
see it on your
that's a
face.
good meal, especially if you like. I know we were texting about this the other day. The Chips
Yeah,
Ahoy Ghost protein, shit protein. Ghost is a very basic, not that good protein. But that was the one protein
yeah.
when I worked at GNC. I would tell everyone, I'm like, buy this, make some oatmeal, cook the oatmeal first, then throw this into the oatmeal while it's still warm and mix it, and it melts into like a baked cookie, and it smells like you're eating like baked cookie dough. And then you put the peanut butter inside of it, and you have like a peanut butter cookie dough chocolate chip.
You were literally eating that, but maybe with the sugar cookie one at the Olympia, the 2020 Olympia when we were watching it.
Yes, and I did the same thing. Yeah, because that the sugar cookie one just came out, so that's why I did that. But it was that same meal. But yeah, I that's when I was messing around with those. That sugar cookie one was okay. But
Mm,
yeah, it's those
that's up.
flavors after you've had like really good proteins, like the Hostile or Gaspari ones. It's kind of hard to go
Yeah.
back to like shitty ones like that.
Pascal, Gaspari, both great. Animal, Granite. I
See,
mean,
I've never tried either one. I've never tried Animal. I've never tried Granite. Um,
honestly, I've been on a Animal and Granite are my top two right now as far as flavoring goes, um, and digestibility. Like the
Axe and
Animal one
Sledge
is
is really good too.
digest fast. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Axe and Sledge is great.
Yeah, I really
Yeah,
like the Axe and
excuse me, I mean,
Sledge one.
my tuna,
Yeah, what are you eating?
tuna, and peas.
How many grams of peas?
I actually don't weigh out my peas. I just do a half cup because it's vegetables, so there's so little. Like if I'm losing 10 or gaining 10 grams, there's so little variance. It doesn't really bother me.
Well, I mean,
But
so your meal is tuna and then half a cup of vegetables.
yeah,
Okay, because I do whatever my meal, whatever the protein is, and then a full cup of vegetables.
okay.
But
See,
I don't put it in the measuring cup. I literally look at what a full cup is in grams, and some of
Right.
them are a little bit different, but most of them are about 140 to 145 per
Since
cup.
peas are a little higher in calories, I only do half a cup. Usually I do a full cup of spinach.
Yeah, peas peas were I had them a couple times. I think I had them for like 2 days straight on prep for like a couple meals. But I've been sticking with green beans, broccoli a little bit. I cut the broccoli down a lot because it was just messing with my stomach. Brussels
I had to get rid
sprouts.
of it.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts I do a lot. Um, but mostly I've been sticking with the green beans because they don't really damage me very much and they're very cheap. You buy a huge bag of green beans and just throw it in the pot for a little bit.
Yeah, I buy a huge family size bag of spinach, but I ran out, so I grabbed it. I was like, I'm gonna get some peas. So I
The
grabbed
problem
some
with the
peas.
spinach for me is to meal prep it. It's so hard because it's so
Yeah.
much that it's hard to meal prep it. So like if I'm at home, I might use spinach for in a big bowl, but to get a cup of spinach into a bowl is very difficult.
Okay, but I meal prep all my meals into individual containers when I make them,
Hmm.
rather than like putting everything in a big bowl and then separating them out.
Hmm.
So I'll meal prep today, for example, 6 meals for tomorrow. It'll just be I'll cook one home, big bag of spinach, portion it out, throw all my proteins
Oh,
in
you
there.
cook it. See, I would eat it raw. That's the
Oh
difference.
no, yes, yeah, I
Yeah,
cook
the
it.
size that's what makes it so big because it cuts it in like half when you cook it.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I just eat raw spinach like just like it's like lettuce or whatever.
it's better, but it's easier to meal prep when you're
Well, yeah,
steaming
it's
it.
way easier to meal prep if you're cooking it like that. All right, so we have to talk about that Nick Walker thing because I saw um, Aries kept commenting on his posts about what's it called about his new supplements team, and then he was wearing an Aries hoodie. I'm like, no way, Nick Walker joined Aries. That would just be weird to
No,
me. So I'm like, why would he be posting that? And I'm like, oh, maybe I thought maybe it was hostile, but I was trying to think what other companies were at Aries Nutrition that like they really share quite often, and then he just joined with Hostile today. So
see, I didn't think he was going to join with Hostile because on his Instagram Q&A, he mentioned that Hostile's great, but they don't have what he's looking for or something along the lines of that. And so I was interested. I was like, that doesn't seem right. I was like what don't they have? And then
so
the next,
they don't
no,
have
go for
some like supplement, like health supplements. So
it.
he
Right.
just left a company that had everything. They have intra, post, pre,
That's
proteins.
true.
He was with Revive too, which is all of like the health supplements, the pills, and all of that. Fuad's been working on that thing for like 2.5, 3 years now, trying to get those multivitamins and all that stuff. It's a miracle he was able to get the what's it, clustodextrin and creatine and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he
I mean,
does.
now they have
What's
the
that?
Pure Calf, the Pico 2,
Yep, the pure
all that
calf.
stuff.
Yep, all that. He has that stack series, and then he has his proteins, but he's only made one new protein flavor since he's gotten protein. So it's obviously a limited amount of choices, but the type of mentality you need to be with that brand, it's obviously like Nick's mentality. The only thing is he's gonna have to try to find another sponsor for like a health supplements or something like that, or he'll just go to. I think he goes to like Publix or something for his health supplements sometimes.
I was going to say, you can always just buy them.
Yeah, you could. I'm sure he could
I
buy
mean, they get
them.
expensive.
Yeah, I mean, Revive's expensive. Some of their top end stuff, like their liver and brain and all that, it's like $60 a bottle.
Revive is absurd. Their
Yeah,
prices are crazy.
yeah. I
I would
mean,
love to buy their stuff. I just can't afford it.
I bought a couple of their stuff. I bought some stuff, and it's good. I bought their liver, their brain, their ashwagandha, their fiber powder. Their fiber powder, I got the chocolate one, and it tastes just like chocolate milk protein.
Are you talking about the greens with the fiber in them, or just the
No,
fiber?
I got the greens powder and I got the fiber powder. So the
The
greens
both
powder,
taste amazing.
the
I've had
greens
both of them.
the greens powder tastes just like a it's like I don't know, it's like very sweet. It's like actually tastes like a berry. It tastes like
Yeah.
you're just like drinking like juice. It
Oh, I
doesn't
get the
taste like
chocolate one, but yeah,
yeah, oh well then the fiber one I got in chocolate because that's why I switched it, but they both taste really good. So it is expensive, but it's definitely worth it.
definitely.
Yeah. All right.
But
So, We only got our social media sucks, by the way. We only got two people that responded to our story about the questions. Oh shit! I think I lost you. Hold on.
Oh,
Oh,
I
there
lost
you
you for
are.
a second.
Yep. So we only got two people that responded to the questions. So I'll read the first one because the first one's not even a question. It's
Okay.
from my friend Connor. He said, "No question, just saying y'all are motivating, and I'm proud of my CIT." So he calls me his CIT because we were friends in high school, but when I did the summer camp, I was his counselor in training at the summer camp. So he always
Got
was
it.
like, "Oh man, it's crazy to see you as my CIT." But yeah, so he said that we're both inspiring, or both
Well, I'm
motivating.
glad we inspire him.
Yeah, I've had him on my rants, my Instagram rants. I've had a lot of people message me about that, and he was one of the ones. He's like, "Well, Spencer made a whole rant about going to the gym to do cardio, so I'm gonna wake up and go do cardio."
Oh my God. Honestly, we could make this whole podcast about prep rants because I'm not like you. I bottle mine up and like get home and I just like I diffuse myself very slowly. I do not go to social media because I did last prep and I remember having stories that were like hours long and I was like, I'm not gonna do this again this time.
Yeah, I see a lot of people that do like long stories, and the problem is they will talk about nothing or they'll be very like boring in it. So I don't finish them. But when I do it, I'm very animatic because it's how I feel. I'm like, if something pisses me off, like whatever I was talking about, or if I'm like passionate about something, like me doing the
Mm-hmm.
cardio during the Super Bowl, like that's something that I'm gonna have energy for. Not everyone does.
Yeah, I get that. That's fair. That is fair. Um, Speaking of things that pissed me off during prep, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing my
Hmm.
cardio. I have my hoodie on, headphones in. I've got a mask on because my gym still requires masks. Ridiculous.
That's weird.
I'm like basically as cloaked up as I can be on the arc trainer doing sprints, and someone walks over and just starts talking. And I'm not going to name names because he is a friend, but he knows I'm in prep, which is what bothers me even more. And I explained to him like what prep is before all that.
Yep.
And he walks up and he just starts talking. And I'm like literally dripping in sweat onto the machine. And I'm like pointing to my AirPods, like, oh, I got these in. And he's like, he goes, no, it's fine. It's fine. Just take them out real quick. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I take him out and then he starts asking me questions about his macros. And oh my God. And the first thing he says to me is he goes, so, I'm trying this whole calorie deficit thing. And I'm like, and so I was like,
I
okay, all
think I
right,
know who
what's
you're
up?
talking about too. I think you've told me about him.
Oh yeah, many times.
Yeah,
Um,
I know who you're talking about.
it was horrible, and then it just turned into him asking a billion questions about dieting and about gaining or losing strength when you're in a diet phase, and oh my God, and then how
Yeah.
much cardio do I do? And I was like, in my head, I was like, can you wait until cardio is over?
You're
I
like in your
was
head like he's like how much cardio do you do? And you're like, I'm 15 minutes in my 45, so can you fuck off? Oh,
exactly, yeah. I really wanted to tell him to fuck off, but I couldn't. I he's a good dude, so I just didn't want to say anything, but I was really pissed.
that's the worst. Like when it's like a good person. Like I mean, you saw my Instagram story. I almost fought someone at the gym at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, because I'm on the bike, and every morning
Yeah.
he just gets on the treadmill, starts sprinting and coughing and sneezing on the machine, and it's so loud and obnoxious. And I have AirPods in, which are noise canceling. I could still fucking hear him.
Yeah,
So
that's ridiculous.
the one day that I accidentally took Anadrol instead of Clen, I fucking took 200 milligrams of Anadrol in the morning right before I went. So I went there, and the second he started making noise, I was just getting so mad. I'm like squeezing the machine, like getting ready to like yell, and I'm like, I got 15 minutes left. I can't do this. And I screamed, "Can you shut the fuck up?" And everyone in the
Oh my
all the like
God.
the moms and like the people there like looked and like was just seeing this guy coughing and sneezing on the machine. And then he like I don't think he heard me, but like he would like have it between intervals. I finish my cardio, I go up to the guy at the desk. I'm like, if he does this again when I'm here, I'm kicking his ass. And he hasn't
Honestly, fair though.
he's
The-
been there one time since I've been there, and he didn't make a sound. So I think they talked to him about it.
It's like there's a level of in the gym, you don't need to be, it has nothing to do with prep or anything like that. Like, you don't need to be the loudest person there when you're doing cardio. It really bothers me.
But it's also gross when you're coughing on the machine and
oh, it's
sneezing on it.
disgusting.
I know which machines he specifically uses, and I don't use them. I
And
stick to
how
the
hard
same
is it?
3 or 4
Be like,
machines.
okay, I get run, my nose gets runny when I do my cardio, so I'm gonna bring a cup pocket and
Hmm.
just my fucking nose.
He
Oh, I
brings
think I lost you again.
no,
Oh,
I
gotcha.
heard you. He brings like a tissue. He'll wipe his face and then put it on the machine. Then he'll wipe his
That's
face and put it on the
disgusting.
machine. And I mean,
Does he at least clean the machine when he's
so
done?
I have not been there since when he finishes his workout because I'm usually there before he gets there and he comes middle of my workout or at the end of my cardio. So I don't know if
Okay.
he cleans it, but I'm sure he got spoken to because the last time I saw him, I had 5 minutes left on the treadmill and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this right now. And then he was like, I think he did like a little like cleared his throat and then that was it. But he was like,
All right.
like the snot, like yakking, like I was like, this is disgusting.
That's disgusting.
Like
Anadrol
I'm
or
not a
not,
big
I
like
would
clean freak or COVID person, but I was like, I feel disgusted.
listen. Anadrol or not, I would have flipped my shit on him too.
No, but like it's happened a couple times and I didn't flip my shit, but it was the day I took the Anadrol, that's when I just like snapped. And then
Well,
I
yeah,
had a
that'll do
sick
it.
workout later that day, so I was like, man, like I had such a good workout and like all this stuff and then I saw the bottle of Clen downstairs and I'm like, wait, I didn't put that downstairs this morning. And then I checked my drawer up here and I was like, oh, I took Anadrol. I was like, that makes so much more sense now. How I had a sick pump from no carbs and I was so angry this morning.
Yeah, honestly, on the topic of sick pump from no carbs though, I yesterday was my first time taking Winstrol
Hmm.
ever. I
I thought
took
you took it before.
no, I took 50 milligrams and 50 milligrams of Anavar pre-workout. Um,
Okay.
and I got to the gym and I was feeling like dog shit. I mean, one of my training partners who knows I train alone now. Like I just can't.
Hmm.
He walked up to me. He's like, "Bro, you all right? Like, you really feeling prep today?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm dying. Like, I honestly feel since I woke up this morning, my body has been on fire, and I feel
Hmm.
like I'm starving." And then I hit. I don't know. I just hit the weights, and the pump was like that.
Yeah.
My muscles were balloons.
Yeah.
Winstrol's my new favorite
Do you
drug.
want to know who I think of whenever I hear Winstraw? I literally think of John
John Meadows.
Meadows on stage because of his story of the first thing he ever took. He was like, yeah, when I was like a
Injectable
teenager or
Winstrol.
something, and
Yeah.
his friends like, yeah, my dad's got like Winstraw in his truck. You want some? He's like, yeah, I'll buy it. He fucking took
His dad, yeah,
Winstraw.
his friend's dad was a vet,
A vet. Yep.
and so
Yep.
yeah, he bought the injectable Winstrol and took one bottle for his entire prep. Oh man, I wish I responded to gear like that. Although
Yeah.
to be fair, I've never really taken much up until now, anyways. So maybe I do.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of think about that too. That's definitely why I've grown too. Is because I definitely took some amount of gear, but not enough to where I had to find new places to pin. I never
Yeah,
told you. I pinned my lat yesterday for the first time.
I'm afraid to. I'm afraid to give myself a pneumothorax.
Oh no, I pinned
How
it.
did it go?
It actually was. It went very well. The only thing is, it was very slow. So
Okay.
I used the same one I used for my quads, same one I used for my glutes, which is I think it's like an inch needle.
Yeah.
And my coach was telling me to use an insulin needle. And I'm like, why would I use an insulin needle? It's only like 1 cc. I'm like, I got to put 2.5 cc's in this thing. I'm like, I'm not doing multiple pins. So I'm like,
No.
no, I'm just going to do 1 cc. So I was like, there's 2 ways I could do this: grab the door handle and try to go from the side or lean forward. So I tried doing this way and I'm like, I cannot get a good angle. Like, not to sound like a dick or anything, but I feel like I am too wide to do this angle. So I just could
You
not.
are one of the widest structured people I've ever
Yeah,
met. I mean,
I
you
could
can.
not. My chest was cramping trying to like even put the pad on to wipe it. So then I leaned forward and I was just like looking in the mirror. I'm like, oh, I think I got this. I stuck it in and I'm like, all right. And I'm like, yo, this is going so slow. Like I used 25 gauge and it was like, I think I had the needle in me for 45 seconds,
Damn.
which is like quite some time, which feels like 10 minutes when you're doing it.
Yeah, no, it really does. Sorry, my phone just started ringing, so and I
No,
swear
it's
it's not
okay.
an alarm this time. It's actually my mom calling, but I
Oh yeah,
told her we're doing a
your fucking
podcast and that
alarms.
if she calls me, I will call her back later.
Hmm.
So she knows. Um,
Yeah.
but I was pinning my delt yesterday, and I had the weirdest experience. It Have you ever like for the first time, my skin was so sensitive that as soon as the needle touched, I was like, "Oh my, that hurts." It was
Yeah.
weird.
Like it
My
pierce
skin
like
was just
it hurts like the pinch.
hypersensitive.
Yeah. I was getting that in my glutes a lot, and actually the reason I had to switch to my lat was because I had to give my glutes a break because my right both glutes have been taking like a beating from it, but my right glute like has like swolled like pretty badly. So like the muscle
My
on
left.
it, the muscle on it is like swollen and it looks oddly shaped. So if I flex my glutes, like this one looks normal, and then this one comes here and then has a huge lump bump. So it like looks
Okay.
like yeah, so it's like all the scar tissue from it. So that's like I have to give it a break. So I think the last, I mean, I have another 16 weeks, I think, of prep because I have to do both shows. So what's, no, 15. I think it's 15 weeks. So I have another 15 weeks of prep. So probably the next 15 weeks, I'm going to be just doing my lats and legs.
I give you credit. I can't afford that.
Yeah.
The only way I'm doing another show this season is if I win the overall, I'll go to the universe just to see where I stack up.
What if you
I'd
get,
love to,
what if you actually, this actually
you
goes
thought
into,
about this. If I get second in the overall,
let me actually read the second question because this that actually ties to the second question, the actual only question we got, which
okay.
was from Zulema. She said, "Do you find it challenging knowing that you'll be competing with each other or with people you know?" So that
Wait,
brings
who else do we know that's doing this show?
well, because like D'Lo is doing it, but he's doing classic. But I can't
Okay.
make. I'm too big for classic, so I can't make that. And then I have a
He's
friend.
in my height class, right?
He's 5'8", 5'7", so no, he's class
Oh,
B.
no.
He would have
Okay.
been mine. But and then I have a friend doing classic physique. I mean men's physique. He's most likely doing that show. Um,
Okay.
but I mainly like us two doing it like with each other, and then Atlantic States. I know Nelly's doing that against me, and if I end up somehow making classic, I'm doing that against Martin. And then if I do the third show, which I'm not sure I'm doing, then I mean everyone at Powerhouse Nanuet's doing that show.
Are they actually?
Lauren, Billy. I think Mike thought about doing it, but now he's gonna get gyno surgery, so he's not.
God.
And that's gonna be Nick's first show.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then that kid Dylan, I think BK
Yeah, I'll be home
coaches.
for that.
Yeah, BK coaches someone that's doing that show too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's a good amount of people from Powerhouse that's doing that show. So even if I don't do it, I might still just go to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go. Since I'll be home, I'll be there for Atlantic States unless it usually falls the week either before or the week after finals. So it really depends. And I'm
Atlantic States
graduating.
is wait, finals is that late? Atlantic States is June 4th.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Oh no, I'll be home. Yeah,
I,
I'll
I
be there.
you last year you couldn't come because you started summer school the week
That's
before.
right. I had cadaver lab.
Yeah, and you're not
Okay.
doing that this year, right?
Yeah, no, I'll be home. So yeah,
Yes,
I'll
yeah,
be there. Definitely gonna be there. I'll be there for that, and then I'll go to the Connect show. No reason not to.
yeah. They're a week
Um,
after each other.
yeah, hopefully, ideally, I'll still be in prep. But like I said, the only reason monetarily I could justify because I still have savings left. Like I still have a good
Hmm.
amount. Like I have enough to prep for another show. I just don't want to prep for another show unless it's something that I know is going to be a big one, like a national show.
So I get
Otherwise, I want to be the off season.
I definitely get that, and I would agree with you that even if you do very well at this show, just get the qualification and save your money till next year, because you know you're going to be even better next year. And I've never done national show, but from what I hear, they're so much more expensive.
See, that's what I've heard too. But I can't compete next year. I'll be working in the probably hospital,
So that leads me to my
working
second
and
thing.
traveling for school.
That leads me to my second thing is could you do it the year after? Because I know they used to give you 2 years that you're qualified. Do they still do that? Because I've been trying
I
to
don't
figure that
know,
out.
but I will be graduating in 2 years
Yeah.
from PT school. So
Because they did change it. They changed it. It's not top four. Well, I don't know because it's weird. It says you need to be top five in the open class to qualify for nationals, but you also need to be top two in your class.
weird.
So it's very weird how it's written. I think it means that you need to be top five at a national level show to qualify again.
That makes sense.
And you need to be top 2 in your class instead of top 4, which it was last year and the year before.
Yeah, because I qualified because of the rule change.
Yeah, so I know
But I
BK
was
did too. I know a lot of people, almost everyone qualified last year besides me because of that change. So now it's I think it's back to
to
top
be
2 again.
fair, I came in last. I just didn't compete against many people.
I mean, so did that guy that went to nationals in November or December. He got second place out of 2 people at a super heavyweight.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that was embarrassing to watch.
that's how I felt like on stage. So it's fine. He was a good
See,
poser.
I
Me
just
and him,
felt
me and him were
small.
bad in shape, but we were good posers.
Here's the thing. You at least had you had a good amount more muscle mass on you when you stepped on stage though. I
Hmm.
was literally I looked anorexic. Like people thought I was like I had an eating disorder.
Well, that's
They
because
didn't
your
think
your your coach gave you a bikini girl diet,
that's also true. That's true.
which
But
he gave
I was
everyone else that bikini
148.
girl diet.
Wait, say that again?
He gave everyone else that bikini girl diet. I can't tell you how many people
Oh
who have
yeah.
been with that coach that said, "Yeah, I got a bikini girl diet."
Oh yeah. He just but listen, it worked. I mean, I got in shape in 9 weeks.
Hmm.
Um, but I was like I was a shrimp.
Yeah.
It was I look back at photos and I'm like, man, I didn't think I was that small.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I it's just I
I'm
was.
telling you, I saw you before your show. Before we were like talking, I like waved to you and you waved back. You were that small. You were very small in a shirt.
Thanks.
So
But yeah,
so it's like
now this is an XL and I'm on
yeah.
prep and I'm
See,
like,
but
I
but
feel human.
that's deceiving because it depends
Big.
what company you get an XL in. Because if I buy
Oh yeah.
if I go grab one of my hostile XLs, they'll be like squeezed on me. This is from Gasp, and this is like their oversized XL, so this is like an actual like loose shirt on me.
Yeah. I listen, I agree.
Yeah,
This is a very well fitted shirt is the best
yeah,
way to put it.
yeah. Hostile is the
You get
same way. Even their oversized shirts are like I have a couple in XLs. They're literally just a little bit longer and a little bit looser on the sleeves.
okay. Yeah, I want to get some of their body bag collection.
That's what I got, and you. It says get what your normal size is. Get like a size or 2 up. If you want it to fit
Okay.
like an oversized shirt, like your granite one that you have, that blue one, you
Yeah.
get
That's a
it.
2X.
Yeah, get that in. You would have to get theirs in like a 2X at least.
Okay. Yeah, I like oversized shirts like that. That's what I train in. And then I'll wear like lately I've been doing either just like a fitted t-shirt underneath or a
Mhm.
tank top, but honestly, I kept my pump cover on pretty much the entire session last
I,
time.
I I never wear a tank top. I'm going to Bev's tomorrow, so I'm probably gonna wear a tank top there. But besides that, I never wear tank tops or anything. I always wear like t-shirts like this.
I just I it's more so than anything that I just don't want to be bothered lately, so I keep a hoodie or like a baggy shirt on.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
people ask questions or people, just think I'm open to talk. I don't know.
That's
But
that's
for
that's
some
why I don't
reason,
go to. I try not to go to Powerhouse Nanuet anymore because people come
yeah,
up
I
to me and
wouldn't.
talk to me all the time. That's why I've been going to different gyms. I have 3 gym memberships just so I don't have to go to the same gym.
See, I go to the campus gym because it is free. Well, I
Yeah,
pay a lot of money for a yearly technically, but
yeah.
um, it comes with my tuition.
Hmm.
So yeah, I go there, which is why I still have to wear a mask, which is ridiculous, and why on weekends they don't open till 11, so I can't do my cardio fasted, which really pisses me off.
I have a similar problem. The retro I go to, which is next to my house for cardio every morning, they open at 7 on weekends. So I sleep in a little bit on weekends. Like so today, I didn't get there till 7:30, and when I usually get there at like 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, see, I want to do my cardio at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and occasionally I can
Hmm.
because I do occasionally dip over to other gyms. Hence, why I was doing cardio at 6 a.m. the other day. But the school gym doesn't open until 7, and I have class at 8. So like half the time, I get up at 5:30 and do all of like I'll do meal prepping. I'll like pack clothes. I'll set myself up with like a toiletry bag that has
Yep.
stuff to wash my face in, alcohol wipes, salicylic acid, everything. I'll go to the gym, get on the treadmill at 7, finish at 7:45, go change, like clean myself up, go to class, and it's like it just sucks. I really wish my gym opened earlier.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
hard being on a time crunch, especially like that's why I have to wake up so early because I usually work at 8 or 8:30 in the morning, and my job's 15 minutes away, so I have to wake up at 5:30 to get ready for cardio, which is going to be an hour long, and then I have to get showered and everything. So in the morning, I'm like this. Unless I go into work at like 9, 9:30 ish, 10, I'm like this all the time. And now that my schedule got changed to being like 8:30s or 8 o'clocks all the time, I got to be quick in the morning. But then I like can actually relax throughout the day.
That's fair. Yeah, I feel like so you know me, I work for the school. I
Mhm.
work only 10 hours a week and then I DoorDash and Instacart as much as possible. So I'm like running around all day. So the mornings actually getting up that early is my chance to kind of like start my day off a little slow before I hit cardio, then class, then work, then class, then gym, then back to work, then home, meal prep, sleep. And so it's just kind of like go, 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 go.
See, that's the thing about us is that we do all of this and like we work and you go to school and like this and that and we get so tired. Imagine how much easier this would be if we didn't have to do that shit.
Bro, if we didn't have to do pro bodybuilders, oh my god, I
Like
understand
I
why they
think
can
about that
push
all the
so
time.
hard.
I think about that all the time whenever they're complaining or they're like or like perfect example, Samson Dowda. Look at him before he went with Hostile and then after. The dude claims and he's right that Fuad saved him his career because that dude went from working a full-time job to being able to just do bodybuilding full time and
Changed the trajectory of his
he's like
career.
he's a top competitor.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he shocked a lot of people with the Arnold this year.
Yeah. All right. So actually, you mentioned the Arnold, but let's do the question that we got first, and then we're gonna finish with the Arnold prediction.
Before we do that, is there any way to pause the recording real quick?
Why you gotta run to the bathroom?
Yeah, I got to pee.
Go run to the bathroom. Go ahead.
Okay,
How was your pee?
very long stream.
Yeah, that's how it typically goes towards this point in prep.
Yeah, I'm doing closer to 2 gallons a day now, just because I'm getting thirstier. I don't
Yeah.
know.
See, I have very low thirst levels. So like in my off season, I do half a gallon to maybe three quarters. Right now, I'm at just over a gallon of water a day. Because how many milliliters are in a gallon?
It's a wonderful question. I know
It's
there's 128 ounces.
it's so that's
There's
what
3.8 liters, I think, or 3 point something like
well,
that.
because a bottle of water's like 16 ounces. It's
Yeah.
16.9 and it's 500 milliliters.
Okay.
So that's what, 8 bottles of water?
About 8 bottles.
So then that would be what every because this thing is I think this is 2,500 milliliters. So that would be what that's one two
That's five
that's
bottles of
five
water.
bottles of water. So I have
Yeah.
this and then I put a full
Is also
bottle. Yeah. So I put this I fill this up and I usually finish this. Then I have another bottle for fasted cardio, post workout shake, and then I have another one. Yeah, so I have about like a gallon, just a little over a gallon, because I have
I
about.
will
What do you
I
got?
will drink about 4 to 5 of these on a rest day. On a training day, closer to 6 to 7.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. Like my coach wants me the week of prep to like the week of the show to have 3 gallons of water. I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, we're doing the same exact thing. That's why when he was like, "How thirsty do you usually get?" I was like, "I drink water like a fish."
Yeah,
He was like, "Okay, good, because you're gonna hate water by the end of peak week."
yeah.
I was like, "Honestly, I like. There's worse problems to have."
I almost peed myself at work the other day.
Oh my god, I drive for DoorDash and it's like if I don't stop to go into a restaurant, I don't pee.
Hmm.
And sometimes I'll get through like 3 of these and I'll be just like shaking I'm like full body shaking.
You gotta do
Basically
you
going
gotta do
through a
what my
seizure
buddy used to do.
like it's so bad.
When he would commute into the city and it would take him a while. I think he still does this. No, he doesn't. He doesn't drive in the city anymore. But when he would drive into the city, he almost pissed himself stuck in traffic. So he took a gallon of water he had, dumped it out, and peed in the gallon. So now he has a gallon, or he had a gallon with X's on it, and that was his piss gallon.
See, that's smart. Occasionally I will just literally stop and pull over to the side of the road and just
Yeah.
go. But I don't keep a piss bottle in my car.
Yeah.
So
All right, so let's answer this. Let's answer this question. So how do you feel about us competing against each other if we both go overall, like competing with people you know?
That's the ideal situation. Honestly, I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I highly doubt we both won't end up against each other.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually messing around with Billy and Lauren today about this, that I'm so close to the heavyweight mark that I might like try to stay in heavyweights and then compete in heavyweights, because everyone in heavyweights at Steve Stone is always a fat ass. They're always like,
That's a
there's
fair
like
statement.
two or three guys and they always look terrible. The light heavyweights, the guy who won, he looked like okay. Like he looked like it would be a toss up because he looked a little bit bigger than I am now, but I think I could be way more conditioned than he is. So, I mean, I'm probably going to end up doing light heavyweights, but I was joking about it. I'm like, if I did heavyweights, I'd obviously get into to the
Oh yeah,
overalls.
but no, I think in general, the weight you look the best at is the weight you're going to win your class at.
Yeah.
Because I don't. It's a smaller show, and I don't think you're going to have trouble. I mean, you have incredible structure. If you're conditioned, you're proportionate. I mean, what more can
Yeah.
you want?
I'm pretty certain that like the two of us are going to win our classes.
I, on the other hand, am going to be in a middleweight this time, which is going to be interesting because I was lightweight, but like barely lightweight last time. I realistically probably should have been a bantamweight.
Hmm.
Um, and so it's just kind of crazy because, I mean, similar to you, I mean, you were middleweight your last show.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
supposed to be middleweight. Like I should have been
well, right.
middleweight. I competed at light heavies because I was too fat. But my body, if I was lean, I should have competed at like 168.
Exactly. What I'm saying is you're significantly heavier and you're going to be significantly heavier on stage.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy because the same thing's happened to me. I thought I was going to be able to get down to lightweight again. I really did
Mhm.
going into prep, but my weight is just not dropping. And I'm kind of like, I'm a little worried because the middleweight guys are bigger, but I'm also 5'5". So
Okay,
I'll be a
but
big middleweight.
yeah, but the middleweight guys are bigger, but you also look big for being your size. If that makes any sense. Like
Yeah, I'm sure.
I feel like I look small for being 205 right now. Like I know guys that are 205 and I'm like you're fucking huge. And then I'm like
It's because you have the structure to hold a 300-pound bodybuilder.
yeah, so that's why it's like damn, like it's like a win lose because I'm like damn, I look like I'm gonna look probably small, but maybe if I make myself look big and if I come in condition, I'll probably do really well.
Yeah. If you pose to your strengths, which you are doing, and you're
Hmm.
proportionate, so realistically that means just pose well. And you're conditioned, you're not gonna. It's not like you're gonna have a crazy problem. The really the thing with local shows that I've noticed is it's conditioning. It
Yeah.
really is just you need to be peeled. You need to be inside out peeled.
Yep. You need to be peeled and no one knows how to pose.
Yes.
That's what I was telling Martin. I'm like, Martin, if you're peeled and you know how to pose, you're gonna do very well in classic.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And his legs look great right now.
Yeah. So actually, for your show, I know you're wearing the green trunks. I have three separate colors to wear, and I don't know which one I'm gonna wear that day.
So I'm getting green and blue, both like with sparkly
I have the green. I have
colors.
the green, and I have the blue one, and I have the black one.
So I'm between. I know for classic, I'll be wearing obviously it's just black trunks.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're doing classic too.
So the way I see it is if by 4 weeks out it looks like I'm going to make the weight, I'll order the trunks and pay for the class because I'm going to wait until about 4 weeks out to register for the show. I don't have to go back and deal with trying to get into classic as well. I just want to do it all at once, so I'm just going to wait anyways. And so I kind of figure if I look like I'm going to make classic, I'll just register for classic and get the trunks. If not, then I'll just put all my chips in bodybuilding and I'll do, open and I'll do, what's it called? Not novice, junior.
Yeah, yeah. I'm doing junior, novice. I might try to sneak in the true novice, um, and then open.
Yeah. See, I'm only going to do open if I do both classic and bodybuilding. But honestly, that's all I care about. I just want to be competitive in the open at this point. Yeah, I mean, just want to win.
Yeah, me too. I just want to be on stage. I just want to be on stage. I want to
Yeah,
win the class, and then I'll be happy. I could win the class, and then lose overalls to like whoever, you or whoever it is. I don't care. I just want to win the class, just so I could be like, all right, first step done. I won a class. Next step, win
exactly.
overalls.
And once I win the class too, I'll have accomplished it's like that's like you said, it's the next step,
Yeah.
done, checked off the list. And now it's like if I go in and I don't win an overall, it's at least I know, okay, I checked off that first box.
Yep.
Next time we check off the second box.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I've always had that graded approach where it's like that's why when I said like if I was going to do the universe, it would only be if I really won the overall or if like it was a 1 point difference.
Yeah.
Because realistically, I don't think I should be on I don't think anybody should be on a national stage unless they've kind of proven to themselves that they've earned it.
Yeah.
And I really haven't. I did one show and I came in last. I mean, yeah, that was second place, but I came in last.
Hmm.
So I got to prove to myself that I can, that I can stand up there and that I can take a trophy.
Yeah, that's kind of what my game plan is. That I'm gonna do Steve Stone, get the qualification, then do Atlantic States just to see how I stand against like better competitors, and then I'll save the qualification for next year. Do the universe next year.
That's smart. Depending on how my life works out, who knows? Maybe I will compete next year.
Yeah,
Odds are slim. Yeah, I'll be traveling for work, so it's
I might even do
unpaid.
I might even do Northeastern or North Americans instead because it's a couple months after. That way I have a little bit longer of an off season. So instead of competing in July,
Smart.
I can do like mid-August.
That's why I was thinking my one opportunity if I did do nationals next year would be nationals, like actual nationals, because it's in December, and I can
Yeah.
handle that.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
So that was
But
that
that's
was my
gonna be
other
stacked. That's gonna be a stacked show. It's always stacked.
always stacked. That's also why I'm a little weary. So my goal realistically is if I don't compete again this year after the show, I'm
Mhm.
taking off until I believe that I could until I put on a solid 30 to 40 pounds of stage weight.
Yeah, I mean,
Just being realistic.
after this year, if you're taking that much time off, you're gonna be top end light heavies by the end of it. Because if you're
I feel
which would be like 25, 30 pounds of stage weight, if you're gonna compete at like 170, 165, there you go.
exactly. If I can be in that 190 range, 190 to 200 stage weight,
Hmm.
it'll be a good off season. That 2 years. But I'm not taking any risks or not risks. I'm not taking any. I'm not going to take it slow. I'm going to try and make his. I want to do a Brett Wilson transformation. I think everybody does at this
Yeah.
point.
I mean, I've talked to basically everyone. I've kind of mentioned this to my coach a little bit, but we're probably gonna talk more about it after in the fall when I actually start in off season. But I'm gonna try to compete at mid to high end heavyweights next year for nationals. So that means I want to be like 215 on stage. So
Yeah,
that's about 20 pounds of stage weight I'm trying to put on in a year. That's why I'm saying I might do North Americans or something like that. That gives me a little bit more time to grow. That's
and
why
just for
that's
people,
why I've been secretly buying, well, not secretly, but that's why I've been buying a lot of clothes that's like much baggier. So it's baggy now, but when I get bigger, and especially in the off season, if I want to be 215 on stage, that means I got to be like 245 in the off season at the
yep,
highest. It's like something around there, 230, 245. I'm gonna be big, so I need some bigger clothes to fit into because
bro.
you're
I
gonna
don't buy
grow.
anything that's not 2 sizes over nowadays. What I
Yeah.
normally wear. All the stuff that I'm wearing now that fits well
Hmm.
is stuff that I bought when I was like 145 pounds.
Yeah, after I saw the hostile body bags and they came in, I was like, these are really small. I'm I've moved on. Like this shirt, I knew this getting this in an XL, it's gonna be big because it's an oversized shirt, and then I have that strong Clarita shirt, that's a big XL shirt too.
Bro, it's huge.
So
Yeah.
that's gonna last me like quite some time. But yeah, some of my other shirts, anything else I'm buying, I just bought a new shirt. I pre-ordered a new shirt. You know those Real Muscle shirts?
Yeah.
So I bought the Ian Valier one a while back, and they ran out of the 3XL when I bought it. So they messaged me. They're like, "Do you want the 2XL?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." So I got the 2XL in it, and it fits me like good. Like those shorts are a little big, but they have a new Jay Cutler version that's coming out, and it's a
Yeah.
purple shirt with the quad stomp. I got that in a 3XL. I pre-ordered that in a 3XL immediately because that thing's gonna last
Smart.
me.
Yeah, I can't prep is sapping my money, so I can't really pay for any like get any new clothes or anything like that.
Yeah,
Even supplements, I'm like kind of like I really bought everything I could before prep started and
yeah,
stocked up on way everything
yeah.
because I just knew like I knew my money would be sapped for prep,
I mean,
which
That's the difference of being in school. When I was in school, I could not do
Yeah.
that. So I don't blame you at all. That's why I don't
But
blame
I
you
also
for
spent
competing
that
and
year and a
everything.
half putting money aside to pay for this prep. So that's
Yeah.
why I can do this.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
like I was saying, like I don't complain. I don't blame you for not competing after this show, even if you do
yeah,
well, because it's a lot of money and it's hard when you're doing that. Like I mean, even for me, it's a lot of money, and I'm working, and it's still like, yeah, I don't make it. If I made a little bit more at my job, which I'm trying to finagle things to like move up and make more money, then yeah, like I'll obviously be able to do stuff like this more often, spend more money. But right now, it's like I have like limits that I can spend money.
exactly. Yeah. Bodybuilding is expensive. It's really,
Especially if you have a girlfriend that wants to go on vacation out of the country, you need to make sure you got money.
yeah. Thankfully, that does not apply to me.
Well, thankfully for you, that's yeah, that's depends who's asking.
That's a fair statement. That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, I just I can barely afford. Hell, I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, for the next 7 weeks, I can't even really go on dates
Hmm.
because I can't go out to eat. I'm in bed by like 10:30 on at night, if that. And it's like, who's gonna go to a movie at like 7 o'clock at night?
Hmm.
And even on the weekends, I get up, early, so I'm always in bed by 11 anyways. So it's like, when am I going? I'm not. I don't do anything.
I'm telling you right now, this is the worst time to meet a girl. Do not meet a girl on prep. If you're gonna meet a girl, meet them after you're done with your prep in your off season when you're happy go lucky and everything.
Oh
Because
yeah,
me and my girlfriend were spending time together. We weren't even friends, but we were like kind of like exclusive while we I was like on prep, and things were good. But obviously, two things took a hit. One, my conditioning, because I would still take her out on dates and like have cheat meals to make her happy because I wanted to win this girl over. But also, I would get like really angry sometimes, and like you can't, and it's like someone that's not used
you
to
can't
it.
avoid that on prep.
Yeah, so like because it gets to the point where like talking hurts. Like
Yes.
the amount of calories that you burn from talking is exhausting. So it's like if someone doesn't understand the thing you say one time, you're like, I don't want to speak anymore. So you need like to prepare someone for that mentally. So I was lucky
Oh yeah.
that my girlfriend stayed through it.
Last prep, I literally got to a point where any sentence that was longer than 4 or 5 words, I was just not speaking.
Yeah,
It was terrible.
if we keep doing this podcast, we're gonna have to cut it like at 2 weeks out because after 2 weeks out, we're just gonna be like, so
Uh,
yeah.
how you doing, bro? I'm not. Headache.
You'll be
um,
nah. BK might give you a burger, so you'll be like, nah, bro, I just had a fucking burger. I'm good.
why would BK give me a burger?
I don't know. I feel like BK and like all of guys athletes all get the burger like 2 weeks out.
I didn't get a burger. Wait, guys, I didn't get a burger. I didn't get anything.
You didn't get a burger 2 weeks out?
I didn't get a cheat meal.
Oh, bro, everyone I know that was like with Guy, they always say like, yeah, Guy gave me like a burger and fries like 2 or 3 weeks out.
Nope.
Frankie got one. I remember Frankie got one. Greg was talking to me about it. I think Martin said it. Like everyone tells me that they got burgers and fries 2 weeks out. It's like between 2 and 4 weeks out.
To be fair, at 3 weeks out, when the show got canceled, and then it actually wasn't canceled, or in the sense that it got canceled, but then I decided to register for one in South Carolina
Yeah.
and just drive down to South Carolina. Best decision of my life, by the way.
Mhm.
Great experience. But when that happened, he did let me eat whatever I wanted, and in one meal, I scarfed down like almost 5,000 calories.
Yep.
And it is honestly the only reason I was in shape, because I was so depleted that I woke up the next morning lighter and I felt amazing. And I dropped in that week maybe I went from, so I was 154, and by the end of that week, I was 149. So I dropped 5 pounds total that week. And
Damn.
I went from worried about being in shape to guy being like, no, you're good. And I was like, yeah, I am. I was like, my glutes were still soft, but I was in good shape. I mean, I wasn't out of shape.
It's hard to get etched in glutes. You could have shape in your glutes, but to have them etched in, it's hard.
Yeah, but in general, we're also, at least I can say I'm much farther ahead this time in prep. Like right now, I'm about 2 weeks away from probably where I was on stage last time.
I mean,
Maybe 3.
Greg thinks that I'm equal to or surpassed my conditioning on stage last time, and I tell him it's kind of hard to tell because we did all those posing and recordings for my show after doing the sauna for 30 to 45 minutes. So
That's true.
me and you were dry and like grainy looking because we were so sweaty from the sauna. But like if I when I look at pictures like in my bathroom, I showed Martin this yesterday. In my bathroom the night before my show after I got my tan, I took a picture in the mirror. And I took a similar picture that same morning yesterday morning, and I showed Martin. I'm like, dude, I'm tanning this in a day out from my show versus like 7 weeks out, and he's like, yeah, you're more conditioned.
I'm actually, now that you mention it, I'm gonna pull up the photos of me from the night before my show. So the best thing about my show was that because I was in a hotel the whole time, I
Hmm.
had like that nasty good hotel lighting. Like that's the best way to put it. Like there was nothing better than that lighting in that hotel. I swear to God, it made me look like I was on point. But let me pull it up. So I was looking back at the photos and I my glutes were in peak week, they were there and not etched in stone, but like they were,
You had
they had
shape.
shape.
Yeah.
And and then I was so flat the day of the show. You can even look from the photos that we took.
Yeah, I had the
So
same
flat,
thing.
glutes got softer. But I have just that one set of photos from the night before, the day before the show. So like technically 2 days out, where that was my best look, and I show this photo to everyone because it's my pride and joy.
I think I
It's
know what
the
photo you're talking about. I think you've shown it to me. Let me see. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's the photo I thought you meant. Yeah, because look at your obliques in that. Like, I wish I had that for my show. I think
And the
I had more definition in my quads, but that's just because I think my quads are bigger than yours versus when I was stepped on stage versus you. My quads
Well,
were
now my
bigger, so
legs are
that's
more
why.
separated because they actually have size to them. But
Exactly. So you just didn't have size in them really, but like yeah, that picture. I'm like you looked freaking crazy, but I had the same
and the
problem
thing,
where it's like I was flat for my show, and so I had shape in my glutes, but on stage I didn't because I was so flat and I couldn't get a pump and I was dehydrated.
the next even so, just being flat sucks because I have
Yeah.
photos from the next morning in the same exact lighting, and I just don't look the same. Like I look worse. I look worse than I did the
Yeah.
night before.
Like it was bad when everyone that went to my show, like my family and stuff, they were like, "You looked like you were like really small compared to everyone else," and I'm like, some of those guys like I was like close to the same size as because some of those guys were like low late heavyweights. I was
Mm-hmm.
just not as conditioned, and I was flat, and they were all freaking popping full because they all had coaches
Yeah.
that told them what to do, and I was like the dumbass who's like, "Oh, I'll do this by myself."
And I basically was in a similar situation in the sense that um, I didn't do it myself, but
Mhm.
I hired somebody who, without really looking into his credentials,
Yep.
and I regret it because I ate the same bikini diet the entirety of prep, which was basically no carbs for 9 weeks, no fats for 9 weeks,
Hmm.
and it was about 1,000 calories. I did an hour and a half of cardio a day, and when I stepped on stage, we were eating the pretty much the exact same, just with a little bit of rice in each meal on for the entirety of peak week. And the day before the show, I ate 2 meals. That was it because he didn't tell me to do anything. So it was like he told me, like, hey, here, get yourself this and this meal and do. And then it was like I'm looking at it and it's like looking back at it, it was basically just eating like I was still on, prep. There was nothing to fill out. I was flat, depleted. It
Hmm.
was just, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to bash anyone. I'm really not. Great respect for my last coach, great person, love him to death. And, I have no regrets for working with him, but, I came in super flat and I was also in South Carolina. So, the only connection or talking I had to him was at night, the night before the show, and the night of the show. I spoke to him.
Yeah.
That was
That
it.
that's why like some of these experiences with bad coaches, that's why it took me so long to work with my coach. I thought about working with him the second Martin told me he was working with him 2 weeks out. I considered it like hitting him up after the show, and then I saw how Martin looked at the show and I'm like Martin looked pretty good, like he looked recovered. And then I was like, I'm gonna do my off season by myself, and I'll see. Maybe I'll go with BK because BK wanted to coach me at the time, or maybe I'll go with Greg because I thought Greg did very well. Or I was also thinking of um uh Billy's coach, Anthony
Yeah,
Delatura. I was thinking about going with him. So I had a couple of people thinking about John Jewett. So I had people in mind, and then I ultimately went with Greg because I just resonated with a lot of what Greg was saying. He was local, and I know a competitor he was with, so it's easy with the team, and
yeah.
yeah, so that's why I ended up going with Greg. But it took me 6 months to decide to go with him. So
No, I understand. I did my entire offseason alone, and I didn't really go with BK until almost halfway through it, and I took a 16-month off season.
yeah, yeah,
No,
because
further. I was 14 months into my off season or 13 months into my off season. I took an 18-month off season.
because you
Um,
you joined BK right when he wanted me to join him, and that was after my show.
yeah,
You joined him like July, August.
and
Or
I was originally going
It
with
was like
Greg.
early July or June, something like that.
I was originally going to join with Greg, except BK reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, like, or at least I reached out to BK first before I even spoke to Greg, and
Hmm.
then BK, after having a conversation with him, I was like, you know what, like, you know, I like the track record you have, and it was kind of that situation of I wanted to give him a shot because he knows me so well personally,
Yeah,
and he was there for the entire experience of last prep, and I was kind of shocked that on it right away. Like he knew immediately what foods I was eating, like because he literally talked to him every day to begin with, so he kind of knew exactly what I was doing, and he just jumped in and took the reins, and it worked out.
yeah,
But yeah, we definitely have good coaches now. Thank
yeah,
God.
yeah. So that's why we're both doing good. All right, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
eat. We'll talk about the.
I'm starving.
No, yeah, me too. We'll talk about our Arnold predictions next time. That will be
Yeah,
the basis of it. But I'm pretty sure Cedric McMillan is pulling out of it.
and Akeem just did.
Akeem just did, and Shaban, and yeah. So, I
Yeah,
mean, I didn't have Cedric in my top five. I
I
had
did,
Akeem
but
maybe Muhammad, maybe Nathan, but yeah, my top five now is very easy to pick.
it takes a lot of variables out of it. Makes it
Yeah,
easier.
yeah. But all right,
Still
so
gonna be a stacked top five,
it
but
is, and it's gonna be a good show. But yeah, all right. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go eat. Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you guys who decided to watch for watching. And
I'm glad we're doing this.
yeah, I know it's something I've been wanting to do for quite some time and never got around to doing it. So I'm glad that it it's actually happening.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. All right, go get
all
your
right,
meal
man.
in.
I'll see you. All right, have a good one.
Peace.
Keep my head up when I act, head up that's a fact, never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track, keep my head up staying strong, always moving on.